I have to stay up close for a minute, folks, make sure it's recording. When you're old, your eyes ain't that good, and I can't see your cameras. 8 feet away from me. Hey, this video is a response to Dominic Minischetti. And where did I put that? There it is, right there. Dom sent me this. I bent it a little bit. Sorry, Dom, I used it. I didn't just look at it. But I could fix it, but there's a little tiny bend right on the tip. I could file that off. But I used the way it is. It works really good, though. Thank you. Anyway, this video was a challenge for suggestions. He showed me some of his hammers today. I'm going to show you some of them. I picked through them and try to keep this as short as possible. We're going to start with, this is probably the oldest one that I have owned. It was my first snow and mealing. They call this a kindling maker. Didn't know that when I bought it. Bought it over in New York State. It's called Grimshaw's Trapping Supplies in Coopersville, New York. Paul's dead now. The building's still there. There's still a sign. It's not open anymore, but it was a great place to sell your fur, buy your traps, buy beautiful Hudson Bay. Hudson Bay is about my favorite pattern. I really like the Hudson Bay. Doesn't do anything special. It's hard to keep handles tight in. They're always loose. You always got to be tapping on them and putting the wedge back and so forth. I bought that one in 1977, the same year I was married. So I've had that one a long time. I'm surprised it survived. I have ones that were in my possession longer, but that's the first one I ever bought. I've got some hatchets and stuff that were given to me. And I had a Black Raven I passed on to my grandson. I got him that. And that is a hatchet, not a hammer. Here's a beautiful little tin knockers hammer. Oh, it doesn't weigh much. I don't think it makes a full pound. That one I've junk shop special, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to set them over here. Next we have a big crossbeam or tin knockers, whichever you want. That one's close to 2 pounds. There again, came out of a junk shop. There's no name on it. Is there a name on? No, there's no name on that one. Yeah, I'll show you this little bevel right here. That's just a gorgeous little peen hammer. And it's got, the wrong glasses on. Put my readers on and I'll read this to you. B-L-C-H-E-K, Bletch or whatever, made in USA. That's all I can tell you. I never Googled it. I should sometime. That was the hammer that came in on it. I did touch the end up a little bit of green. There was some cracks and stuff, and I sanded it the best I could. So I can hang that one back up. And then this one I made years ago. I made 2 of them. I sent one to John Katz. He did leather work. Turned them on my father's lathe. Turned the handles out, bored them, pounded the handles in, glued them up. It's made it this many years. I've beaten the hell out of that. You know, driving handles in and stuff, or you know, tightening them up. Well, while we're on here, this is probably the most expensive hatchet I ever bought. Axe hatchet. I don't know why. I just saw it online and I said, yep, I'll buy it. It's a Holtz Brooks. And it's a little backpack, little tiny one. Works great for cars and stuff. Nothing wrong with it all. It's a lot of money and it's good quality. I'm not going to crap on it, but there's nothing that almost $200 hatchet will do with this. That was good for that one. This $5 Stanley will do. And the wedge is the way it is because wooden handles and wood heat don't get along. I heat my house with wood. So they're always drying out, loosening up. And if I leave the wedge out, I use this for a lot of, like this right here. That's a whomper. You can see I want the hell out of it. Something I wanted there. I didn't want to mar it all up. And I use this to, but I do it on a block of wood. I don't do that space. And that Stanley sharpened up. Incredible. I've never seen another one quite like it. I don't know, paid $3, $4, $5 for it. I made that handle for it. And that thing, you can shave with that. That thing really sharpens up, and that's why it's in here. This one here is a Plum Boy Scouts. I'm going to walk up to the camera slowly, and I'm hoping, doesn't look like it's focused, but I'm hoping it's focusing right in there, and you can see the Boy Scout stamp in it. Don't quite know where I picked that up. I'm on the plums here. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. Well, no, Steve Winkleman, he sent me this one. That's another beautiful plum. Has quite a unique little stamp in it. And I love that. I should use it once in a while, but I'm always afraid to damage them if I use them. This here's another little plum. I like plum, by the way. Plum, Snow and Neely, Collins. I like American-made axes. That's a little plum laughing, back when they used to use before sheetrock. There's 3, 4 more hanging up there. Okay, moving right along. What's next here? He said hammers, and these are mostly hatchets. Most of my hammers are out in the barn. I got that deadbolt. I use that with my loading, you know, you gotta pound the size them, and that's what that's for. Nothing special, I bought that. These two here, my father had this one. This was my grandfather's. I remember it hanging up in his basement. He died when I was 3 years old. I have a few memories of him, but he had a workbench in his basement, and my grandmother would go down there and that would be hanging up. I mean, we never touched it or anything. Well, after my grandmother passed, my father had it, and after my father passed, I've got it. That will definitely go to one of my children, either my daughter or my son, whichever one wants it. Finesse wing, leather grip, 16-ounce. Straight claw, my favorite hammer, by the way. This one was my great-grandfather's. That was in his sugar house, and again, my father had it, and now I have it, which is an old Wing. I don't know the year, 16-ounce straight claw. Wonder how many thousand spouts that pounded in a tree. Of course, now they tap 100,001 woods, but back then, 350. And now, coming up, we have a beautiful little Woodlands Verona. Get on the handle. And it's a little, you know, splitter, but you can also use it as a couple, probably 3-pound sledge. I picked it up used somewhere. That's not that old. Wow. Yeah, it's in the 90s, because let's do it right now. This is a, some people are going to argue this, but this was sold as an All-American. Probably True Temper. They bought out the Woodlands company. I bought this around 2014 to split wood with. It didn't get used much splitting wood because I didn't destroy the handle. I did a char on the handle and then waxed it. I still use that. That was a good axe. One's here. These are a couple little Wings. This is a 16-ounce. That's the 14, right? Well, yeah, I thought it was stamped in it. Didn't say. That's the 14. Or maybe I'm getting it wrong. No, this is the 14. This is the 24. This is the little 14 here. These are a nice little backpack rig. They're nice steel handled, you know, and they're nice size to carry in a backpack. They don't weigh much. Nice size to work with. Here we have a plum. 2-pound plum, short handle. They work really handy for chopping up cloves. I mean, they're a great little woods axe to carry. The disadvantage with a double bit is you don't have a hammer to drive on wooden stakes and stuff. Most axes you should never drive on the pole. Put them all away. Not that important right now. This isn't about all that. Yeah, here's one. That's Collins Boys Axe. Still got quite a bit of the sticker left on it. I made the handle, I carved the handle out, and then that's a scorch and a light quick sand and just a little polish on it. 2 1/4 pound Collins Homesteader. Nice little axe. Trying to do this quick while we're on the Collins. I'm glad I did this video, Dom, because these have been hanging up here against the wall in the wood furnace, as I said. This is another 2 1/4 pound, and when I went to pick that one down, I noticed the wedge dried up and fallen out of it, and the handle was actually, I gotta make a wedge for it. I made that handle. That's an Adirondack pattern, which is popular here in the Northeast. I've talked about it in past videos. They were not popular everywhere in the country or even used. I guess I didn't show that one. That's just a old slugger handle in it. I really don't know this pattern or what it was meant for or anything. If you do in the comments, please tell me. Okay, this one was gifted to me by a friend here, Tom Pedigree. He has a YouTube channel. He's here in Vermont. He's from Maine. It's a council tool, and I made the handle for it out of black walnut. Probably not a smart thing, but you know what? These axes are not getting, you know, I'm not going out and clear hands with it. It's decorative now, for the most part. This here is a Collins Hudson Bay. I've got several of these, and they're nice axes. There's nothing wrong with those at all. They shouldn't have been stored in the house, because the dryness of the house dries them right out. Okay, moving right along. I'll do this one first. This is a True Temper Flint Edge. It's an older one. Boys Axe. I did the leather work myself. I'm no expert, but I got it done. It works. That's a Boys Axe. Lovely little axe. I didn't make that handle, I bought it. This one here, I made the handle. Not for sale. Cost you, I turned down, I would take $1,000 for it. It's not that it's particularly valuable. It's a True Temper Flint Edge Kelly Works. It's an old double axe. It's been around. But my wife didn't even tell me there was an auction the other end of town, and she bid it off in the auction. And she gave it to me. I made the handle for it. A little deer hoof print on it. And that's that one. Not many hammers here, but I'm going to do part 2 out in the shed. Okay, I've gone through everything. This is one of my favorite axes. It's not old. It's a council tool. 2 pound Hudson Bay. They just, so hang of it, everything. You know, you can choke up on it, you can carve, and do everything else. I have one of them more expensive bushland, bushcraft, whatever it's called, and it's a beautiful axe. This one surpasses it as far as I'm concerned. This is just a gorgeous axe. And we'll talk about the sheath. You know, those of you who remember Johnny Caps, he's still on YouTube. Hasn't done a video in a long time, and he should too. He needs to. If you watch this, John, somehow you find this, you see it, you need to put a video on. You know, you're pretty talented, you did some wonderful things, you had some great videos, but I know, got a family, takes time. And he made this axe and shoulder strap for me, sent it to me. Absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, I hate to carry it much because I'm terrified I'm going to damage it. The little buck knife, over here, let me put this back in here. The little buck 102 that's with it. I said to him, can you make a sheath for one of those? Because the sheath that was with it was cracked and was rotten. And he made that too, and that's why the 2 of them are hooked together. Well, that'll finish part 1 of this. I think I'll do it in sheds, because I've got my workshop out there. And we got a bunch of hammers. I'm not going to do every axe here. Maybe I'll pick the camera up and slowly go down the wall. You can see why. There's probably 50 axes hanging up down through here and take all night. And I'll do my workshop the next one, and then my barn shop, or maybe I'll lug the woods in from the barn and do them all at once and get it over with, not bore everybody too long. Anyway, Dom, that's my addition. I hope you meant axes too. You all have a great night. Thanks for watching.